Yeah. You ready to go?
Yep.
I can't wait. William Spencer is already in the chat. William Spencer says, Iga losing 2 games in a match now. I knew her standards would start slipping. Exactly. I think she's forgotten how to lose. She's on fire, actually. We were talking about this a little while ago. We were watching it on the Tennis Channel, and it showed the current longest match win streaks between the year 2000 and now. And Venus Williams had number 1 at 35. Serena had number 2 at 32.
Yeah.
And Justine Henin, of all players. I love her. I hope that young lady, Diana Perry, the one-hander from France, does well. And Swiatek. Justine Henin had 30. And Swiatek, as of today, made it 30. She had 29, won, and she has 30. Anyway, hello and welcome back to another 5K tennis discussion. What's up, Yen Halcour? Great to see you as always. Hopefully everything is well. It is May the 26th, 2022. And yes, I know Cam Williams is doing his match now, and we were just watching it. But we never like to do it at the same time because A, we watch it, and B, we always try to make sure we don't step on anybody's toes.
We're going to always end up because all those guys are always doing matches.
They're always on. So we
we
only had a chance to do it now because Carla and I have been reined in for the past 4 days, and we have lessons all day tomorrow and some clinics and Saturday. So we need to go clean the courts today, even though we're not going to play or teach. We need to get the courts set for a good weekend. Yep. So this was the only time we could get it in.
Yep.
All right. So we're starting today's shows, as always, with shout outs. A ubiquitous shout out. Shout outs to all of you. This has been a really great French Open. All majors that we do are great, but this one has been really, really, really energetic and really, really fun. So thanks to everyone for sure. What's up, Wainam Chia? Haven't heard from you in a while. Wainam Chia is a fine gentleman, and for the longest time, he was traveling, or you were traveling with your mom a lot of places. How is your mom, by the way? And are you still in Singapore? Anyway.
Super busy. Well, exciting, yes, but the matches today haven't been exciting. Let's be real.
Yes and no, but any major, sometimes you'll get a second or a third round that's not super duper crazy exciting.
I mean, I think we saw the most exciting matches probably in the last couple of days, but there really hasn't been anything exciting today. What has been exciting today?
Some of the segments we have written are going to be exciting.
Yeah, but as far as the matches, they've been pretty,
So do you think we have the ability to make our show better quality than the matches we've seen today?
I hope so, because there's been a lot of very lopsided sets. Like you'll see one of the ladies win a set. And
what's up, Jose P?
And then the next one, the other lady wins it. And it's just very, I don't know. There's nothing. Swiatek got through it pretty quick. Her match finish, I think under an hour, probably could have been done sooner, but her match was pretty quick.
She's on fire, and we're gonna delve off into the entire thing here shortly. We missed something yesterday, and we are very apologetic for that. Carla, I sent you a video earlier, just a little while ago. I even changed the title of today's video because of it. I didn't even realize we were gonna go to Djokovic again today. We spoke about his match yesterday.
We missed two things. Two things.
We did not find anything out about the French crowd booing Novak until like an hour ago. And I didn't realize that he was playing and he was, pumping himself up saying, come on, and then the crowd started booing him. So do you have that?
Yes, I do.
So what we're going to do is I'm going to try to show you this video, and it'll probably demonetize the video. But if you think we make a living off this, then that's, whatever. Obviously not. So I would like to, sorry, I had a hiccup, but I would like to show you at least a part of this video. And so you can kind of come to the same mindset that we may or may not be in. You may think we're wrong. You may disagree totally with this. But let's do it. Carl, you're hot.
Thank you, Ben.
I just realized I wasn't even watching Djokovic. I was watching you. All right, here it comes again.
It's unnecessary.
It's not.
No, the come on is unnecessary.
And they start booing him again.
Okay. So to me, my answer to what you're going to ask them is,
okay,
the come on twice with. I think he did the come on twice, maybe because they were booing him the first time, so he did it again.
Can I? Okay, let's play a game here. I'm going to play it 45 seconds for me, and I'll be quiet, and 45 seconds for you, or 45 seconds for me, you be quiet. 45 seconds for you, then I'll be quiet. Mm-hmm. Can we please understand what the world, what Australia and what tennis has put Novak Djokovic through since the throat hack at the U.S. Open? I'm not even being funny about it. When he hit the ball lady in the throat, it almost seems, I don't want to go back there. We've talked about it a million times, but he has dealt with the ridiculous accidental throat hack. He has been rejected, contained, and isolated in Australia, ultimately kicked out. He couldn't play tournaments. He was put on the global stage to reveal his medical records, right? I think some of your rights that you have as a human being is to keep your medical records private, but hey, not for him, not for him. Everyone else, just because they voluntarily are outspoken about it, hey, I did this. That doesn't mean the next man has to volunteer it too. And then when they don't volunteer it, it becomes an issue. He was treated like a criminal. He just is now getting back into the thick of it, right? He played a tournament with Rome or whatever. Anyway, he's just now back in the thick of it. He's in a major now, right? He couldn't play Australia. Rafael Nadal has 21 majors, okay? He has 20. If he would have played Australia, he probably would have had 21, just saying here. Okay, if he wouldn't have had the throat hack at the U.S. Open, he probably would have had 22. Get what I'm saying? So he has a lot to prove, and he's fired up about it. All the people that have been on his back is now coming out on the court. So the crowd boos him because he's fired up that he's back in a major. I think that's ridiculous, and I'm about to shut up. But Novak Djokovic grew up in a war-torn country. Okay, Western bombs falling on swimming pools that he would play in the deep end of with the likes of Ivanovic, Tipsarevic, and Helena Yankovic, and so forth. Krajinovic, Kekmanovic, Jiri, I think they're a little bit younger, though. Played practice sessions in the deep end of bombed-out swimming pools. And here he is back, and he's fired up, and he still gets booed. I think it's tacky, and I think it's wrong. I'll say enough. Now
I mean, he was playing a subpar opponent, so I didn't feel like the come-ons were warrant. They did boo Krejcikova. They did boo Azarenka.
Why did they boo Krejcikova?
She went on a bathroom break. Obviously, she wasn't feeling well. She didn't even take that long, and they booed her. They booed Azarenka because she took a little too long to serve. Yet I've seen players like Cilic bounce the ball a million times, and they didn't boo him. I think people are stupid sometimes. They boo for anything, and obviously they've heard boos before for Djokovic, so that's why they do it. I feel like the second come on that he did was more towards to bother the crowd, because they booed him the first time. I mean, I don't think he deserves it. I'm not saying the boo is, but I didn't think he needed to really go, come on, playing Nishioka.
But why does it matter who he's playing? I mean, he
should beat him. I mean, there's a lot of come-ons. I find the come-ons annoying by any player when it's not necessary. Like I was hearing Swiatek go, come on. I'm like, you just beat the girl 6-0. You're up 2-0. Like, why do you have to say, come on? Like you don't need to. They already feel that small, and you want to make them feel even smaller. It's annoying. I don't like it. But I don't think it deserves a boo. I agree with you. He's been through a lot. Yeah. I don't feel like he deserves that. I feel like that he deserves a lot more respect. But I'm sure he's used to it.
Could you imagine if it was Roger Federer especially, or Rafael Nadal especially, and the same point in time, and they just decided to go, come on, just randomly? The crowd not only would have clapped and cheered, they probably would have cried and put selfie pictures with them in this moment where they were just blessed to have seen these other two show emotion Do you understand what I'm saying?
I totally agree with you, Justin. I'm not disagreeing with you.
What does Nadal do after every single point that he wins for the most part? Let's go. Everybody takes pictures of it and prints it on their T-shirt.
The only time I think players should do that is like if, let's say, they played a long point. Like there's been a lot of long points, like Goffin and Tiafoe. The match point was unbelievable. It was a like 20, 30 shot rally. And that deserved a come on. And I don't think Goffin even did that after he won. Going to William Spencer's comment, to sum up the tennis world, doesn't like Novak, then when he wins in a big moment, he feels like he's overcoming the fans as much as his opponent, which ironically makes him even less like.
Yeah, he's fighting two battles. He's playing his opponent and the crowd. Yeah. What about Mitrovic Slobodan? Good to hear from you, bro. He says, quote, "Well, after all these years and all the booing with reason or for no reason, I think Novak just doesn't give a shit, or the more he wants to be in some type of conflict with the crowd." I think at this point it motivates him.
Yeah, that's why I said I feel like the second one was done because they booed him the first time when he said, "Come on," so he's going to do it again to bother them.
Yeah.
Because it obviously gets under their skin. So he's like, well, let's play this game. You know?
Exactly.
And he should. I mean, that's when you are an athlete and you're getting paid millions and millions of dollars, that's what comes with it. You have to be able to take it. I'm sorry. We can't cry about it. You got to be able to take it. It's different if there's two little kids playing and, you got parents booing them. That's different. But that's part of the reason why you get paid millions of dollars. And that's probably the reason why he's mentally really strong. Yeah. He's used to it. So I don't feel bad for him. I don't really feel bad for anyone who gets booed. I think actually there was one time I felt bad for someone who got booed, and that was Serena. She got booed. She got a point taken away when Justine Henin raised her hand, and she said she didn't. And she was fighting the umpire, and the French can be worse than the Americans at the U.S. Open. They booed for so long. I mean, I think they paused for quite a while, and they made her cry, and she lost that match. That's probably the only time I felt bad for someone getting booed, because I felt like, well, Henin should have been a woman enough to say, I did raise my hand. I did. And the umpire did not see me. And it's not right that, Serena gets a point off. I felt like that was wrong.
And I think later that was proven by video.
Yeah, I thought that was wrong. And the crowd was unfair to Serena. And they booed her like hell. They treated her like shit, But again, if you're a professional, that's what you just need to do. You need to take it. You get paid the millions of dollars, you got to take it. That's part of the job.
Jose P said, and there's two comments I'm going to read, but Jose P indicates same with Alcaraz. He does it after every point, and the crowd goes nuts.
It's annoying.
Yeah.
And I don't like it.
Yeah, we were watching the Ramos Vinolas match. We didn't even bring this up on the show because I know everybody's jumped on the Alcaraz bandwagon, and we know he's good. But he's kind of a silver spoon, snooty little kid, because you are absolutely right, Jose P. After every point, he's going, well. And also, I noticed something else that he did almost after every point. Like, if he hit a really good shot, he would stick his hand up like he was apologizing to his opponent. Like if it was like if you clip the tape and the ball goes over and you win the point, by luck, you're like, oh, I'm sorry. Even though you're really not sorry, you're really glad that you just won that point. So it's called a faux apology, not a real apology. Hey, I'm sorry, I just won a point off a let. It's called a faux apology, FAUX. You're not sorry. You're just trying to play by the humility, gentility, chivalrous rules that sometimes are still followed, but most of the time not. But he's doing it after almost every point. He hits a good shot. He's like, I'm sorry. He hits this shot. He's like, I'm sorry. So, yeah, I agree with you, Jose P. The other one I wanted to read is from Wainam Chia. Wainam Chia brought up the fact that, or asked the question, that is it a possibility Roger Federer will play the Laver Cup and retire in the Basel tournament? I think that would be a good thing, to let everybody know, and by the way, which I think is cheesy. I think the Laver Cup is cheesy. We've done shows about this. It's just an exhibition to show off the selfishness of some of the biggest players. They don't care for it. But Basel, that's like his tournament. Like the difference between Roger Federer and Rafael Nadal is Roger Federer's tournament, his baby, is Basel over Wimbledon. I mean, I know he's won Wimbledon, 8 times or something like, hasn't Roger won Wimbledon 8 times or 7 times, 8 times? But Nadal's won the French Open 13th and going for 14. So the daddy of all the majors is Nadal, because he's almost doubled Roger in terms of major count at one major, right? But Roger has like a trillion of the Basel tournament. So I think it's a 250, by the way. It might be a 500. I think he plays there and has a good showing and then walks off, right? I don't know. I would assume he would want to do that at Wimbledon. I don't think he wants to leave Wimbledon this year, or he's not even playing it. So I think he would want to play one more Wimbledon. He's agreed to play the U.S. Open. If he's going to be like Tom Brady, maybe he eases into the U.S. Open. Maybe he doesn't do too well, which he probably won't anyway, and finds a way to walk off next year playing just a few tournaments, maybe the majors only and one warm-up on each surface, and then walk off next year. I don't think he walks off this year by skipping Wimbledon. But I may be wrong.
I mean, I really don't care what he does, to be honest with you. I'm just being honest. I mean, I'm kind of tired of talking about it, that when is Roger going to retire? I mean, at this point, it's like, when is Serena going to retire? Well, I think you guys should do it if you're not playing. What are we waiting for? Hoping that the tour kind of slows down and stuff? I mean, that's not going to happen for Roger.
Yeah.
Worse for Serena. I'm just saying that I don't know why they drag it on so long. They should just retire.
Dollar bills, yo.
William Spencer says,
Cream, get the money.
Difference is people respect Rafa and Roger. Novak has always been just desperate to be loved like Fed and Rafa, but he will never have more success as he would get more hate. I guess that's what he's saying.
Yeah, no, I noticed a comment here where you were corresponding with someone and you indicated eggs are $3 now for 18 of them.
Yeah, that was when she asking.
So right now, and this may be way less expensive than what you are used to, but we live in southern Alabama, and we are right near a bunch of oil refineries, namely Mississippi, and we have oil drilling platforms within eyesight of the beach that's just up the road. Gas here is U.S. dollars is $4.33 a gallon. Now, Carl and I, we had this discussion just this morning. We had the gas light on in the car, and I'm like, damn, we got to get gas. It's pouring raining, and then we got to drive to Mobile and back. So where we work or teach is about 40 miles. It takes us about 40 minutes, 38 to 45, depending on traffic or whatever. It takes us about $10 to get there and $10 to get back, and an hour and 10 minutes of time. Mm-hmm. Do you see what I'm saying? Mm-hmm. The 38, 40 minutes is without stopping, but we stop. I'm just saying, if you hit Google Maps and hit directions, it would say 38 to like 42 minutes. But because of traffic lights and stopping and recently a detour, it's expensive. So what I'm telling you is Carla and I actually have to teach a lesson just to pay for the gas for one day. And that's what people are dealing with these days, right? Like, it becomes more, at what point does it become more expensive to go to work than it is if you don't? You know, what if you're making minimum wage? Which
you couldn't afford the gas.
Yeah, what's the minimum wage right now in the state of Alabama? $7.35 or something like that.
I just don't know how people work for minimum wage.
Yeah,
you couldn't afford to put gas.
You couldn't do anything.
And not only that, you go to the supermarket. Buy a gallon of milk, it's almost $5. You buy a box of eggs, it's $3.
Exactly.
Bread is cheap. Anything that's junk food is cheap. We've noticed. Anything that's junk is very, 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 very cheap. If you want to eat healthy, it's bad. And I'm not saying that meat is healthy, but it's, you know, before we would buy a pack of chicken breasts that had maybe 5, you know, big, good size pieces. Used to be what, like $7, $8. They're what, 14, 15 now?
14, 15, yeah.
14, 15 now. Beans have stayed the same price. I've noticed coffee has gone up. Cereal has gone up.
We don't eat much cereal.
No, I don't.
I'm
just giving examples for people, what normal people, like before we used to buy these, I used to buy these little salads. I noticed they've gone up $1, and he used to buy a wrap where they used to be like $3. Now they're $5.
They're $5. And look, the salad you used to buy had romaine lettuce as lettuce, and now they have iceberg lettuce.
And it's like that much salad. So everything's gone up. Just everything. Clothes has gone up a little bit. I'll give you a brand like Lululemon. I love buying their shorts, and I never buy it on site. And I remember their shorts just last summer were $48, $58. Now they're $78. So they went up $20.
Everything's going up. Yeah. And I think sometimes for us, we always have to think about these things as coaches, because like you said, we have kids that love milk. My dad wouldn't like that too much. He's vegan anyway. But we go through like 5 gallons of milk in 5 days, 6 days.
No, we don't buy.
Or 3 gallons? 3
not
gallons.
Not anymore. We buy 2 gallons of milk a week because Justin Jr.
Well, they're in school. Now they're going to be out of school.
No,
it's going to be worse.
No, because Christopher's leaving, and he's the one that drinks the most milk.
Well, little guy.
He's kind of weaned off of that. Yeah. I don't think we drink as much milk as you think. Lily has the lactose milk. So if you're lactose intolerant, the milk is for half a gallon. It's like $4.
Yeah, we went grocery shopping this past Monday. We go every Monday. It's kind of our routine. We spent somewhere approximating $400 on groceries and toilet paper and garbage bags, necessities. And we only had like one modicum cart full. I think we bought a bag of dog food. We feed our dogs nice dog food, not cheap food. We get the best food. So, I think ultimately, if you take out the dog food, which is like $40, we still spent like $350 on groceries, and there's really not much in there. Anyway, how to survive on minimum wages when it costs you money to drive, and if you have to buy your lunch, or if you don't have a packed lunch. So if you're making say $10 an hour, we'll give people a big raise jump here in Alabama. I think the minimum wage is like $8, $8.25, $7.50, whatever. That's important. I should know that. I mean that respectively. So if you're paying Uncle Sam, meaning taxes, and you're losing like 30% of your income on taxes, state tax, federal tax, Social Security, insurance if you have it, and so forth. If you're a minimum wage worker that's making $10 an hour and you work 40 hours a week, you're making $400 a month. So $400 a week, right? So 40 hours, $100 an hour, $400 a week, you're making $1,600 a month. Now take out 30% for state, local, federal tax, Social Security, take out insurance if you have it. You're down to half of that. You got half of that. So you went from making $1,600 a month to $800 a month. Now, if you live an hour away from your job, which we do, and you're spending $10 to go there and $10 to the way back 6 days a week, that's $60 a week, or $120 a week you're spending on gas, which is $480 a month. So if you only had $800 that you were making when all is said and done, and you just spent 7/8 of that on gas, how do you eat? It's gone.
I still don't know. Like I was telling Justin, at the club, we know a lot of people, but I don't know how people afford to take vacations constantly. You said credit cards, but I find that people they travel a lot, and I'm looking around. There's a lot in Dauphin Island. Like we didn't have this many visitors. I don't know where the money's coming from. I don't know if maybe there's just like an elite, like the rich and like the poor. Like it's because people are spending money like crazy, and I ask myself, what the hell?
We are mere peasants, my love.
I'm just
we are mere peasants.
But like every week it's a vacation. People take a vacation every week or every 2 weeks. They find an excuse. And I'm like, there's no way they're making that much money.
Hey, shout out.
There's no way.
Sorry, didn't mean to interrupt. It's important topic, but William Spencer just dropped Shelby Rogers.
And so
Danielle calls in 6-4, 6-3.
And Halep went down too.
And Halep goes down.
So that means there's somebody else that lost the chance of a racket.
Yeah.
Or money, I mean.
Yeah, and by the way, there are two people left for the $500 cash giveaway. That's a lot of money, right? And we're going to roll it over to Wimbledon. But let me tell you real quick while I'm thinking about it, who those two people are and what their finalists and winners are. There's two people. Con, C-O-N, has Iga Swiatek making the final and defeating Angelique Kerber. Con, on the men's side, has Novak Djokovic defeating Stefano Tsitsipas in the final. The other competitor that is left for the $500 is NT. NT, like naughty maybe, but November Tango, NT.
Naughty boys.
He has Rafael Nadal beating Tsitsipas. So if Tsitsipas loses, by the way, then both of these gentlemen or young ladies are out. Mm-hmm. On the women's side, he has Paula Badosa, who almost lost today, by the way.
I think our chances are good of keeping that 500.
Defeating Coco Gauff. Now, here's what I'm going to do, okay? This will be if no one wins that, and someone could, by the way. Coco Gauff, I think, is sliding under the radar, and no one's really paying much attention. And don't forget, in women's tennis, we did a poll question yesterday. We decided and voted, and there was a couple hundred votes, by the way. Yesterday was a good show. We had a lot of interaction. Thank you. Always thanks to you. But we talked about women's tennis, it being...
Oh, sorry. Go ahead. You can talk. Don't worry about it.
It being more advantageous to be a receiver in the women's game instead of the server. Now, in the men's game, of course, you want to serve. Give me the ball. You win the coin toss, I'm serving. But in women's tennis, the receiver has, statistically, at least from yesterday, the stats from yesterday, the receiver had a better chance. There was one match where the women broke each other's serve 10 games in a row in the same match. I think it was Bekic and Anisimova or something. break. But Goff is one of those girls that can hold her serve. So if Goff can continue to hold her serve more than everybody else, as well get the same amount of break point opportunities, she'll win the tournament. However, NT picked Badosa to defeat Goff. So I think if I was looking at this final, at least if I was in his or her shoes, I would have chosen, if I picked those same two players the other way, I would have picked Goff to beat Badosa, because Badosa did not look good today.
She's not going to win. Let's be real here.
So for Wimbledon, by the way, the only thing you have to do to qualify for these large cash giveaways is to subscribe. That's it. And then just predict the men's finals, the women's finals, and the winners. So if no one wins the $500 this major, we will up it by $100 and make Wimbledon $600 US, payable again immediately, PayPal, money order, whatever, just nothing kind of shady. We won't send kooky money internationally. We've been hit on that before. But anyway, we'll make it happen. We sent money to Poland. We've sent money to Slovenia.
You'll get it. Don't worry about it.
Yeah, no problem. Yeah. Anyway, but we will roll over to Wimbledon and add $100, right? Okay, fair enough. Mm-hmm. Let's talk for a moment about Carolina Pliskova. All right, Carolina Pliskova, as you all know, is one of my kind of special players. I'm not going to say favorite, but special. I've always wanted her to do well. I've always wanted her to win the major, and I've always enjoyed her game until one fateful day where she smacked the umpire's chair with her racket. And that's when I began to say, wait a minute. Maybe she's one of those type people that never shows emotion, and she holds it in and she stays quiet, and then ultimately she ends up like hurting somebody one day, like a referee with her racket. Once that, and this happened a while ago, but once that happened and I saw the court conduct, I'm thinking, wait a minute, maybe her lack of showing emotion has been the problem her entire career. And you know who has said that since we started the show? Carla.
You have to. It's like you when you hold your emotions and then you explode. It's ugly.
I explode, yeah.
It's dangerous for anybody. You don't want that situation for anybody. I like this comment by William Chia. If Swiatek loses, it will be a bigger upset than Rafa and Novak losing to someone other than each other. I agree.
You think so?
Because everyone expects her to win. And the way she's playing right now, it looks like she could win it, right?
Yeah.
Have you seen anybody else play as good as her?
I haven't, but
I have not either. So I think it would be a bigger letdown because I feel like everyone expects her to win. Whereas Rafa and Novak, they're both older, 35. And I feel like any of those two guys, whoever wins that match, is going to win the tournament.
It's a great comment.
Yeah.
What do you think? Do you think we have seen the last of Pliskova? But by the way, what's up, Flo, and what's up, Rowdy? Every lap.
I am rooting for Korda as well.
Yeah, me too as well. And yes. Flo, by the way, in case you're new to the family here, Flo and chat painted this 5K tennis, and she is an aspiring artist, by the way. And she put no, like Nole, and then a goat and the Serbian flag colors. And the funny thing is my mom, who is 72 years young, she thought it was like some political thing.
Stop telling her that she's gonna get.
I thought it was so funny.
Yeah.
Okay, but here's two questions. What happened? What has happened to Pliskova?
What has happened?
And B, have we seen Pliskova's best tennis already pass?
Yes, we have. She's done. She doesn't even need to spend money on the coach, Bashin. I feel like she needs to find the reason why she plays tennis. Why am I still playing? Or remember why she used to be in the top 5 and why she is not anymore. You know?
Yeah.
I feel like there's something that's lacking there. Passion for the game. I don't see it. Not letting your emotions out. I mean, I don't scream. And I don't yell and I don't grunt, but when I win a point, I show my emotions, you know? I don't say, come on, but I feel like you need to let that go a little bit. You have to express yourself. You can't keep that inside of you. And she just never does. And it's hard to like her. She's so robotic. It's like, it's worse than watching Murray because there's just nothing behind there.
Didn't you used to call her zombie?
Yeah, she's a zombie. It's like, hello, wake up.
Pliskova had 5 double faults at one point. I think it was just towards the end of the match. 5 double faults. Only won 58%. That is 58. Only had won 58% of her first serves. So if she got her first serve in, which is one of her weapons, she only won 58% of the points. Why is that a big deal? Because her serving is part of her success. She's tall. She can get up there. She can elevate. So she wasn't hitting her spots. And what's the biggest thing though? The surface. The surface slows the serve down. Like when I play Carla on a hard court or any type of fast surface, I feel really, really confident that it's going to be a battle. Okay, but if it's on clay, I'm like, because my serve kind of takes a step back. I mean, I can still put it in triple digits, 110, something like that. But when it bites, it slows it down, and it gives Carla an opportunity to play the lines, which you always play the lines. So it's tough to cover the short court or the shorter court. So I get burnt a lot on the return of serve because of the surface. Pliskova, though, should have still beat this young lady. However, congratulations and shout out to the young lady Jean, and I hope we're pronouncing that correctly. She played extremely well. She won 63 total points to Pliskova's 41 points. Pliskova, by the way, was 0 for 2 on breakpoint chances, and this girl was nearly darn perfect. Okay, so I don't know what to point the blame on per se, but Pliskova has put her best tennis behind her. She is not a clay court specialist. She plays better on a faster court, but she still should have won this match. With that said, Pliskova will continue to slide down in the rankings. I think her best showing should be at Wimbledon this year or the U.S. Open, and if not, I think that'll be the latest. I think the whatever round she makes it into at the U.S. Open and Wimbledon will be about the farthest she will ever continue to get.
I think her career will just go down from there. I mean, she's 28, 29, 30, maybe 30. I don't know. I think it will go downhill from there. Simon's last Grand Slam as well. He's also retiring, but he's beating Steven Johnson right now.
What is that? What is Mitrovic says? Is there any man's maths on Roland Garros? I don't know what that. I don't know what that means. Good comment. I'm
amazed with Justin's hair day by day.
Who?
Why are you amazed with it, Mitrovic?
Let's go, Mitrovic.
He spends way more time shampooing and conditioning.
I don't do anything to it. I don't comb it.
You shampoo and condition your hair every day. Every day.
Okay. I don't shampoo it. I wash it every morning with conditioner. There's a reason, because this dreadlocks up really fast.
He spends more time.
I get dreadlocks. I do. I get dreadlocks. I really don't. You know that's wrong.
You spend condition. I buy you special.
Yeah, but I don't spend any time doing it. I just get in the shower, throw it in, and get out. I don't like sit there.
Looks like a Greta Garbo in Camille.
Yeah, it dreadlocks up. Man. So there was a point in time where I spent a couple of years away from home, and this would dreadlock up. So I used to have like nickel size dreadlocks that would come down. So anyway, and before I cut it off, eventually I'll re-dread it again just for a short period of time and then cut it off.
Oh, I think I just cut myself.
Okay.
All right. So let's see. William Spencer mentioned something about Collins. I didn't really think much of her loss, really. I mean, I felt like she could come back, but I mean, who knows what's going on with her? He says Collins has lost 4 of her last 7 matches. In those 4 losses, she's won an average of 2 games per set. I think there's something more than just lost the form. Her body language has seemed off. Well, didn't she go through some surgery?
Who?
Collins.
Collins has been through a lot in her personal life, by the way.
She could not have babies unless she had, what is it?
Endometriosis or something?
I think so, yes.
So Collins has been through a lot too, by the way. I don't particularly care for her attitude on court or the way she carries herself. She seems kind of bitchy. I hate to say it.
Potty Mouth lost today too.
Putin saved it. Yeah, Georgie, Barbie doll took her out. So Potty Mouth was taken out by a Barbie doll.
Porcelain doll, baby.
And we're going to talk about that. But Collins was, I'm not saying rejected, but she went to play college tennis D1 at the University of Florida. And she wasn't, the number 1 player there, right? And she felt like she should be, right? I don't know if coaching there, and I may have this wrong, so I don't want to say the wrong thing about a respective university. But as the story goes, at least as we understand, she wasn't treated as good as she thought she should be because she's, I guess, a better player. Some coaches, by the way, do this seniority thing. Like we help coach Alma Bryant High School tennis team, and we play other schools a lot. And some of the other schools will have like a player that's better at number 2 than the person at number 1. Then we ask why, and they're like, "Oh, well, she's a senior and the girl's a freshman." Well, I don't give a shit what age you are. If you're going to ball and you're going to beat whoever, than play. When we first moved to Alabama from California, my sister, Amy, who passed away of breast cancer recently, God bless, when we moved to Alabama from California, she was so much better than all the players here. There was 2 players here established that were in her way, Leslie Diaz and Jill Griffin. And Leslie Diaz's brother is Jabbo. That's a member at our club.
Oh, okay.
So,
yes, I remember you told me this. Yeah.
So they were seniors, and she came as a freshman and had the opportunity to beat Jill Griffin, who went to St. Paul's then, in tournaments. But Miss Falconberry, Dale Falconberry, our coach at Murphy for myself and many other people, Mark Moore, a ton of Alan Fincher. Anyway, it's been so long ago, but she allowed everybody to play and compete for that spot. So my sister took the spot. Everybody was happy, and they did very well. Coaches, when they give you this seniority bullshit, it makes people that know that they're better, even though you're younger, and makes them quit. Like there's schools here. We know students that we've taught that know that they're better than the number 1 player at their school, but yet the coach won't let them compete because she's a senior and you're just a freshman. And it makes that number 2 player leave, so that team could have had a powerhouse. You could have had 2 really good players on that team, but because of the coach that doesn't have the balls to stand up to a parent, which, by the way, in high school sports and in college sports, the parents, it's not like T-ball baseball where the parents can be like, hey, why didn't you play my son? Give him a chance to hit. High school, college, man, that's done. I don't even want to see a parent, right? You know, and that goes even coaching them. This isn't me and your parent. If they don't like me, I don't give a damn. Does the student like me, and are they getting better? It doesn't matter if they like you or not. But a lot of coaches think this way at the high school level, and it ends up costing the team dearly, right? We see it all the time.
Pancakes. William, why do you call Sissy Paws pancakes?
I don't know. It's a good one.
Why do you call them pancakes? Yeah, my man lost today. He looked like he was wearing pajamas. I didn't like his outfit at all. I felt like if he would have wore a different outfit, he would have won. You know, he should have wore something more that represented his country or something, not stickers or a pajama-looking outfit.
I like the outfit.
I would never buy that for you.
I do.
I would laugh if you wore that.
Do you know how much what she's talking about is Fusovic is.
I thought his name was Fucovic.
We got a segment about new last names, by the way. But he's sponsored by Hydrogen. As you all know, Feliciano Lopez is sponsored by Hydrogen. A lot of other players, and it has a little skull, usually like a skull, right? And I'm not much. I don't want to wear a skull on a tennis court. So actually, the other day, I need to get a number plate for my mountain bike. So I have a Diamondback Mission 2 mountain bike, and I want to get a number plate for the bars. But the only one I found that I thought looked cool had a skull on it, so I didn't get it. You know, it's like a $10 thing. Anyway.
Thank you.
But these shirts, Rowdy every lap. And so we're going to talk about this. He did we never even talk about it, by the way. Some people put these things in the bottom, top donators, whatever. Look, do you know that YouTube takes like 33?
You always say that.
33% of that?
Yes.
Look, I love you. I do. Thank you. And we're going to talk about this now. But thank you, seriously. But I think YouTube, I know. Whatever you donate to someone on YouTube, $10, $5, whatever, YouTube takes 33%, and there is a debit card or processing fee.
They're gonna shut you down.
I don't care.
Because it's amazing what you say, and they like pick up on it, and then they'll send you an email.
Yeah.
So you better watch out.
Okay.
The world
is so let me read this. Rowdy Every Lap says this. Thank you. Seriously.
What is your analysis?
What is your analysis of Holger Rune's game?
He means Rune. Yeah, Rune who just beat Shapovalov.
Yep. My take is that he has an obsessive desire to be perfect. Also is very tough in points that matter. But I was hoping you could still tell me about the technical stuff. Okay? That's a tough question.
That's a tough question because I'll be honest with you, Brody.
I have a segment for him.
I never really knew of Rune until you guys started talking about him.
Well, we watched him at the U.S. Open.
That's right. We did watch him in the U.S. Open.
Okay.
I didn't think much of him at first.
All right. This segment is for Rowdy Every Lap. We were on the same brainwave.
I wasn't.
So if you see right here, it says Rune.
Trivic's like, who is Holger Rune? See what I mean?
Funny. Funny. All right, let's talk about this. And this one's for Rowdy Every Lap. You were paying attention a little bit, but you were writing a lot. So, by the way, the young man is 19 years old.
Is the one that played Djokovic?
Didn't he win the first set? No, didn't he come close? He had a good U.S. Open. right? Like won a set off Djokovic at the beginning. That might have been Brooksby, but I think it was Rune. Anyway, Brooksby Rune are kind of similar, by the way. So check this out. Holger Rune is 19 years old. From what I remember, we saw a first kind of glimpse of him at a major. I think it was the U.S. Open. Maybe it was Australian this year. I forget. He won, and this is a big time thing. Holger Rune won the Junior French Open. Okay, so he
played Djokovic. First round lost.
Yeah, and then he won a set. He won a 7-6 set against Djokovic at the U.S. Open, and that put him on the map. And believe me, I can assure you, Djokovic, as good of a man as he is, as great of a man as Djokovic is, I forgot to say that in the first segment, Djokovic is a great man. He gives stuff back to his community. He helps kids in the streets of Belgrade. He's a good man. He doesn't need to be booed. And I'm not saying that because I'm biased. I'm saying because it's true. It's always important to give people credit where credit is due. Djokovic is a good man. Anyway, he won the Junior French Open. So that tells you he has significant court experience at the French Open. Now, I don't think he has Chatrier court experience.
He doesn't, because he's lost every first round that he's played on Grand Slam.
But he won the Junior French Open. So he has a little bit of free ability to free up his tightness a little bit. Mm-hmm. Now, speaking about the junior majors, I'm not going to beat a dead horse. I've said this a million times, but I was able to go to the U.S. Open in 2007 and 2008, courtside for the finals, but mainly go there as being an apprentice or getting to watch the stringers. I was doing some play testing with the USRSA. What's up, Jonathan Wolf? Love you, my brother. I think he's at Tennis Warehouse now as the stringing coordinator or something. Anyway, I hope he's well. But I was able just to kind of watch and to kind of pitch in on some of the stringing on the junior rackets because they're not so, rushed in and out, right? But the junior players aren't necessarily on center court. They're playing on like court 14, they're playing on court 16, whatever, but at least they have familiarity with the environment. Now, winning the Junior French Open is a big deal. Okay, look at some of the other players that played in the same French Open that he won. If you look at the list, I wrote it. I won't waste your time with it, but there's a lot of players. You'll be like, whoa.
Didn't Sanga win a few junior things? Never won a slam.
So did a lot of players.
That's my point. I don't think that matters. I disagree with you. I don't think it matters that you win a junior open.
Well, it doesn't. But it can't hurt you.
It can't hurt you, but it doesn't.
Okay.
Junior and pros are two different things. The reason I don't remember Rune that much is because I don't really think much of him. I'm being honest with you. I didn't think much of him. We've seen way too many kids come, like Brooksby, everybody loves him. I can't even stand watching him. I just feel like you have to start winning. Look at that. We're still talking about Zverev. Will he win a slam? Tsitsipas, will he win a slam? What's going on with Shapo? What's going on with Felix?
And here we got Rune.
And I don't see anything more special on Rune than, for all this guys. I think these guys play better than Rune, in my opinion. So It's hard for me to say anything great about him.
Look at Rune's section of the draw, by the way. Holger Rune, by the way, is about to take on Gaston, the 21-year-old Frenchman, right? A great opportunity for both players here. Great opportunity for both players here. Who do you like in that match? I have to go with Rune.
Coin toss.
I don't think it's a coin toss. I think Rune has the advantage. I get that Gaston has a couple years of experience on him, namely 2, but Gaston did not win the Junior French Open either. So I'm gonna give a little more. I'm gonna give a 2 out of 3 chance.
Did Novak win a Open? Did Nadal win an Open?
I don't know. It's a good question.
No, they did not.
Okay.
Did it matter? Didn't matter, guys. Did Serena or Venus win an Open?
That's a good question. They didn't play juniors, though. Serena and Venus didn't play juniors.
No, why? Why? Because it doesn't matter.
It can't hurt. I'm not saying it makes them the best thing since sliced bread.
From what I've seen, every person, if we go back and start looking, almost everyone that's won an Open has not won a slam. Just saying.
Look, good luck to the young man. He's a big hitting player. He's in the moment. I think if he's in the best of 5 against someone like, Nadal, Djokovic, or even someone, if Murray was playing the tournament, I think the experience wouldn't be enough yet, but I think he's a great player.
He's still playing Challenger, so he's not quite there yet.
All right, well, he's
just that Shapo,
he's knocking on the door.
Shapo is, whatever. One day he's hot, one day he's not. You better hope and pray, get down, that it's the right temperature, the right crowd, the right.
No.
Come on.
I agree with you.
He beat Rafa, and then he loses to him. Come on, man.
What shot do people pick on when they play Denis Shapovalov? The one-handed backhand. And why so much for Denis Shapovalov?
But that guy didn't have so much power.
But why I get he has a one-handed backhand. That's an easy answer. But let's look further into that. Why is the real reason that people pick on Shapovalov's one-handed backhand? What's the real reason? He jumps and hits it.
Yeah.
Okay. I've said this a trillion times.
Anybody picks on somebody that has a one-handed backhand.
Yeah.
If you have a one-handed backhand, believe it.
But
I believe Rune will be in the top 5 in the world at least. I hope you're right, Jamie. He's still young, right?
I don't think people picked on Wawrinka's one-handed backhand.
Of course they did.
So I don't think they picked on it as much as they do Denis Shapovalov. The problem is when you jump and hit a shot. I get it gives you a little bit more power. I get it. It makes the highlight reel, but it lacks consistency. If I'm locked onto this target, which is my hand, and I'm hitting it, and right before impact I jump, I'm losing that ability to hit it cleanly in the sweet spot, and it leads to unforced errors. And that's the main reason why people target his backhand on every single point, as well as Tsitsipas, by the way.
I agree, but if you're a one-handed player, that's what you're going to get. Rowdy, let's see what happens with Rune. I'm definitely not gonna jump on that one.
Look, I think by the end of next year, if not sooner, it depends on how he does at majors. Now, here's the shitty part about Rune right now heading into Wimbledon. Rowdy every lap. No points. So even if he goes to Wimbledon,
speaking about that,
and makes the second week, he can't accumulate points, which really hurts. So I think for these players, believe it or not, these players that aren't going to get points for playing Wimbledon, that are young, are risking injury and so forth, it's probably best they play the Queen's Club, the Eastbourne Classic, the warm-ups, and then maybe skip it just to not risk injury and wear and tear. Do you understand what I'm saying?
Yeah, so Benoit Paire was asked about, the whole no points at Wimbledon. He says, I'm sorry, quote, I'm sorry for Russia and Russians, but they are the ones causing all the trouble. And all the ATP players are actually paying the price.
I agree. Even though Benoit Paire needs to watch his mouth.
I am sorry for Russia and Russians, but they are the ones causing all the trouble.
You know what? Here's something ironic, though. Ironic's a tough word choice to use because sometimes you get its application incorrectly. But look at Djokovic. Gentleman, does a lot of stuff, has been treated like shit. People boo him. Benoit Paire has been a class act dickhead for a long time, right? Class act dickhead. And he gets no boos. He gets cheers from the French crowd.
Yeah.
Go figure that out. How does that even work? It's the problem with tennis now. It becomes associated with boundaries and isms and so forth. Tennis, as we are accustomed to, we grew up this way. Tennis is an international language that brings us all together.
I mean, look at
but not if you're Djokovic.
Look at Djokovic. I mean, guy gets disqualified. We got Bagu who threw a racket and hits a kid in the stand.
Do you have that video?
And nothing happened to her.
Do you have that on video? I think Jack Nolte and someone else sent you this video.
Gene was sending it to me first.
So Djokovic accidentally, Novak at the U.S. Open accidentally, he wasn't even looking, just turned around and hit it. Hits this bozo in the throat that wasn't fast enough to duck that shit. She should have been ducking and moving. I think she stepped into it. But Bagu today throws a racket, bounces off the ground, and hits someone in the audience. Did she get a warning? Did she get kicked out of the tournament? Did she get defaulted? I don't know. Let's check it out.
There's no volume on this, by the way.
It's okay. Watch the racket.
Hits a kid. They'll go back to it.
Yeah, they'll go back to it. Watch the racket. Watch.
Oh, no. I hit the kid. I guess they're trying to get the racket back. So
you missed it. You didn't get it. So she
didn't watch it, Justin, from the beginning, did you?
You didn't have it on there, but it's okay. You can catch it on YouTube or anywhere.
Yeah,
she chunks the racket. It bounces off the ground and goes end over end.
It shows you in the beginning. How do you miss that? It's in the begining. You can see it. She does it right there.
Oh, yeah. It's just so small.
Yeah.
And sorry for the setup, guys. We're mom and dad of 5 kids. We don't have all the beautiful things. But that's okay. I like it better that way. Dad's character. That's my excuse to feel good about it. Okay. Both players have opportunities, Gaston and Rune. Good luck to them both. I do think Rune is a little bit more of a favorite from Gaston, even though Gaston will have home field advantage. Real quickly, and we won't speak about this very much, but Momir Kekmanovic, you guys know I love the Serbian players. And again, not because I have a best friend from Serbia or not because of Novak Djokovic, just because.
We have a best friend from Serbia?
No, I said not because. Not because we have a best friend from Serbia. We have a lot of Serbian friends.
I was like,
Stefan and so many others. But it's just because the history of how they have came to be as a civilization from thousands of years ago, but just some of the tennis stories you've heard, it almost humbles you. Remember, you had a lady in a bank. Carla went, and we did a video about this. Carla went into a bank here on Dolphin Island, and a lady from Serbia was the manager of the bank. She, I guess, somehow saw our show, pulled her into the bank, sat her down, and cried tears, pleading with her to listen to what the Djokovic family and many other families had been through, and to please, in tears, crying. And she was, 75 years old or something, pleading with you to understand. And you came home and did a show about it. Go look in the search video. I think the title was something like Carla gets pulled to the side by a Serbian.
Yeah, I don't hate Novak. I didn't like him in the beginning. I respect him. He's not my favorite player, but I respect everything he does. He's great, one of the greats. How can you take that away from him?
Okay,
he's a great player. I mean, most people would dream of their kids playing like him.
Yeah.
I don't like the attitude that he, the smashing the rackets. That's why Tsitsipas, I used to like him, and I don't like him now. I don't like people who smash rackets. I've never smashed a racket in my life. I don't like people yelling at other people. I mean, I don't like that. I don't enjoy watching that. I feel like you need to be a role model and not show kids that it's okay to act that way. I would slap my kid if they act that way.
It makes you on edge to even watch it.
I don't like that. I've taught people who have yelled and screamed and are very vocal.
You had one recently.
And I don't like that. It puts you in a bad situation.
Spot, yeah.
I can't imagine a coach like Sabalenka yelling at her coach. I would be like, screw you.
Makes you very uncomfortable.
Very uncomfortable. I'm sorry. Do I respect him for everything he's done? Absolutely. Do I think he's the greatest? Absolutely. Bravo to him. I just don't like his court conduct. Simple. A
couple comments really quickly. Yen Hao Kur says,
why must you be a role model? Because kids are watching you.
Yeah.
Kids are watching you, Mitrovic. It's not okay. It's like, these actors and actresses that do these drugs and these artists, these band, they think it's okay. That's not okay to behave this way. Even Serena, when she told the lady, I'm going to shove a ball down your throat, it's not okay.
That's
not okay.
Yeah. I don't want to lose the comment. Yen Hao Kur says, if it was Federer, the lineswoman would have been, it's okay. Well, we all make mistakes. Okay. Flo says exactly. Dreamt Tennis makes an interesting comment. What's up, bro? Our young lady he says, excuse me, apparently they can't default Bagoo. A lot of ticket sales she brings to watch her. I don't. Is she super hot? I'm not sure. That's a great comment.
French, Belgium?
No, she's not. She's not French. Bagoo is. Should have had that. I should know that. I feel like an idiot. I don't know where my 4 sheet went. I'm down a sheet. Do you have one of my sheets? I'm down a sheet. Okay. Anyway, but yes, I agree. Thank you very much, William. But yeah, if it would have been Federer or anybody, it would have been a little bit differently.
Oh, he was being sarcastic.
Okay. Well, good joke though. Yeah, good joke. I like it anyway. Anyway, back to what I was talking about. A shout out to Momir Kekmanovic, a Serbian player, again with a lot of heart, a lot of fight, with an impressive performance against Bublik. Okay. Bublik is a fine player. We know that he's been in the thick of things from a standpoint of he plays only because he has to play to pay his bills. And Bublik, I like Bublik a lot, by the way. He's always honest. He's kind of like us. We just kind of tell you how we feel and don't beat around the bush about it. If we meet someone and they piss us off, we're just going to say, that your attitude pissed us off. We're not going to be like, oh, and kiss your butt and then tell someone behind their back that guy's an asshole. Because what happens is people talk, and then that person you told that goes back and tells that person, and that person's it creates so you just say, hey, we agree to disagree. And Bublik's the same type guy. So I like Bublik a lot. He
lost, right?
He lost in straight sets impressively to Momir Kekmanovic. Kekmanovic plays Medvedev next. Now, Medvedev had a relatively easy time. We talked about Medvedev talking about the surface. Okay, he said that the grit of the clay. Which the grit of clay it actually is absorptive. So if you have these little dry pebbles, they're all over the place, and then all of a sudden when they get wet, they kind of expand and open up, right? So it's kind of like a big sponge, right? It's kind of cool actually. We have 8 clay courts. That's what we tend to every day. When this show's over, we're going to go take care of those 8 courts after these 4 days of rain. So anyway, we know well how to tend for clay courts. But because of the surface being a little bit faster, quote unquote, as what Medvedev said, watching the Jessica Pegula match today, Pegula said not only that, but added something in about stringing. Now, I know a lot of you are players and some of you aren't, so I won't take up too much time with it, but we are very active stringers. We have a stringing business. We've had it for a very long time. We are very partial to Swiatek strings and very partial to Diadem strings because they're the best and the customer service is amazing. And that's not a chip in. I'm just telling you. Ivor Savage owns Swiatek's. Adam Friel, what's up, Diadem? But Jessica Pegula indicated that because the surface was playing a little bit quicker, that she changed from a round string to a textured string or vice versa. Now, why does this make any difference? So if I have the strings in my racket here, and I could use that, but just imagine the palm of my hand are the strings of the racket, and here's the ball here. So if I have a textured string, meaning with like edges, if it's twisted or shaped like a hexagon or octagon, as I'm going from low to high or slicing it, equator to low or whatever you're pulling, drop shot, whatever, the textured string, the edges of that string will bite on the ball and give you more spin, more access to spin. If you don't have a good stroke, some would say it leads to less control. And then also the textured string on a hybrid, meaning I got one type of strings going on the cross and I got one type of string going on the mains. The edges will saw through when the strings move through your cross strings or through your main string, right? So hybrids with textured strings break a little bit quicker if you're hitting the ball because it's like a saw, you get it. But I thought it was pretty cool that Medvedev A said it's helped his game for this tournament tremendously because the ball stays a little bit lower. Okay. Now, Pegula indicated that she didn't want her ball to stay low, so she wanted to change the launch angle of the ball off her string, so she went to a textured string. And I thought that was pretty cool. Stringing is a really important deal, and unfortunately for the stringers, they don't make a lot of money.
When chase out of the court slower, and
they're saying they're playing faster.
I don't think so, and he agrees with me. I think they're playing slower. The reason why is there's a lot of ball.
It's not this. No. I'm going to shut up. But this was Medvedev talking, quote unquote, and not just me making it up.
No, I know. Yes, I know.
Okay,
but watch the points. Watch the points, guys. The rallies are a lot longer at this Grand Slam. If you notice, you even wonder how did that player get to the ball. How did they get to the ball? It seems to me like it's slower and the ball's kind of sitting up. It sits up more for the opponent. And then a lot of these shots are kind of popping. I don't know. I feel like it's way, 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 way slower. I saw Pegula play against her opponent. They must have had 20, 30 rally shots. I think Tiafoe and Goffin, same thing. Alcaraz, had they played, I feel on a faster surface, I feel like Alcaraz, there's no way he would have gotten to some of those shots. Sometimes you can't even see them in the screen. They're out of the screen completely. That's why I think it's a lot slower.
Yeah, a lot
slower.
Did you notice, by the way, how far away that Jessica Pegula was playing from the baseline? Nadal is one of those guys that plays way back near the fences, right? Gives them a little bit more time to react to the serve, and especially if they're left-handed, a little bit more time to read the ball. But why doesn't anyone ever use the drop shot? I'm one of those players, and Carla, you know this, and if you watch some of our hitting videos, Carla's a power player. She hits the ball big. I don't. I play chips and slices and place it here and place it there. I don't try to blow people off the court. I try to place it, right? That's just the game that I play. Some days you play well and you're untouchable, and sometimes you play bad and you're not. But when you watch these big hitting players play and they're standing so far behind the baseline, why don't, especially in the ladies' game, why don't people use the drop shot almost on every single ball? If they hit big ground strokes, you can't hit big ground strokes from three-quarter court, but no one even throws it in there. Is it because A, they're too good to throw it in there? Is it B, that they can't get top-notch sponsors if they're not cranking the ball? Is it C, the crowds won't ooh and ah about it? Is it D, they won't make the highlight reels? Is it E, they're just too snooty and stuck up to try to regress? That's like sometimes I meet guys, right? Whether you're out playing or coaching, whatever, and you teach them a lesson, and they're blistering the ball. Or like, hey, you try to get them into the short court, like the service line, and they can't hit a ball to save they can't do anything. And then you play points, and they have no really rationalization for why defensive players or retrievers don't really hit the ball hard. But then they get all cocky because they think they hit the ball good in practice. Then they play you, and they can't win a game because they're not used to running here and then going there. They're just used to whacking the ball from one spot. And this is the type mindset of their game.
Mm-hmm.
Do you understand what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm.
Anyway.
Yeah, Williams Spencer says lack of touch, same reason they don't like to come to the net. And when they do, they need half a dozen goes to put it away. Personally, with players sat on the back,
exactly.
I drop shot most points.
Yeah. My whole life, I've gotten off literally as a tennis player of being the guy that if you're at drilling lessons or with coaches or clinics as a junior, everybody's smoking the ball, but yet they're just walking up to the center hash mark and taking a shot and hop stepping around and coming back in. So you just kind of dial in that one shot. And all these guys are like, whoa, come on. And then you play them and you beat them all like 6-0, 6-0, 6-0, 6-0. And they're all been out of shape because they practice so well. Mm-hmm. Same type thing. See it all the time. And we always tell, especially our young female students, the juniors, they come out and they're just trained to blast the ball, blast the ball, blast the ball, blast the ball. But yet they go to a tournament, they get beaten 6-0, 6-1 all the time. Right? Mm-hmm. Makes you wonder who their coaches really are. Okay, we talked about Kekmanovic. We have discussed the two people left for the giveaway, right?
Yep.
We talked about Pliskova.
Yep, we talked about everything.
Sorry, by the way, to Laszlo Jiri that lost to Medvedev. You played really well. You did your best to a good playing Medvedev. Pegula, we talked about. Pegula, by the way, at one point in time was up 6-1 and 5-1 and lost the second set. So she was up 6-1, 5-1 and lost the second set and went to the third set. Okay. If you're going to be a top 10 player, this can't happen. Okay. Is Pegula really a top 10 player?
No, I feel like Mukova is a lot more top 10.
Exactly. Pegula's got the luck of the draw or a lucky break because she's in the top 10. She's played a lot of tennis. And the era, this generation is not too terribly great. Real quickly, Casper Ruud playing Ruusuvuori. Again, we talked about the importance of this match. This is a Norwegian playing a Finn. I can't remember the last time I was watching a Finn play a Norwegian. We were talking about some of the Norwegian or Finnish players being, Jarkko Nieminen? Wasn't he one of them? Isn't Janko?
Yeah, we talked about this.
Anyway, we talked about it. But anyway, I picked Casper Ruud to make it to the final and ultimately lose to Nadal. If you look at Ruud's part of the draw, the only reason why I picked Ruud is, yes, I know he's a good clay court player, a specialist, you could say. But a lot of you said Davidovich Fokina was a specialist, and he lost in the first round. And here Ruud is. I used to get laughed at for bringing up Casper Ruud. A couple years ago, I started bringing up Casper Ruud. He'll be top 10. Carla laughed at me. A lot of you laughed at me.
I'm still going to laugh at you.
And then here he is. Here he is, number 8 in the world, and you laughed at me for saying this years ago.
She should have won.
Just saying. I coached for 22 years, and when I see someone that
Sango almost had him. Come on.
Okay. Now, Casper Ruud plays Sonego next. Now, Sonego is kind of funny to me because Sonego, in my opinion, didn't become Sonego until Novak Djokovic let him win a match.
I'm not laughing when Sonego beats him.
I don't think so. I think Ruud beats Sonego.
I'm not saying it, but I'll laugh if it happens. So
yeah. Now, who's below Ruud making it into the final? Goffin, her catch.
Her catch is playing well.
Holger Rune and Gaston. Okay, the winner between Evans and Yimmer.
Tsitsipas.
Okay, Tsitsipas hasn't been impressive at all. 5-setter just the other day to who?
I agree, but he's
Musetti. He went 5 with Musetti.
I laugh if Medvedev makes it to the finals.
Ivashka Urgarin. Mackenzie McDonald, by the way, beat who you call him, wife beater, beat Nicolas Basilashvili today.
What was it?
Basilashvili.
Bash, silly.
Oh, Bash or silly.
Yeah.
Carbanas, Baena, or Simone and Johnson, Cilic, Kekmanovic, and Medvedev. So Ruud has just as good a chance as anybody else.
Kohler has 2 set points as Stefanovich.
Who?
It's Kohler, the player that Stefanos Tsitsipas is playing.
So Kohler has set points against Tsitsipas. Thank you for that. Who put that? Thank you, William Spencer. Anyway, I really hope Tsitsipas loses that. By the way, if Tsitsipas loses that match, everyone is out of the $500 cash giveaway. But remember, we will roll that over and add $100 to it. For Wimbledon, we are doing a $600 giveaway if no one wins this one. Okay? If not, we'll go back to the regular amount. We've been rolling it over for a while. Yeah. But yes, both players have Tsitsipas. So Con and NT both have Tsitsipas. If Tsitsipas loses, Wimbledon becomes a $600 tournament. Don't forget that. Really quickly, a shout out to Martina Navratilova. And at the same time, I hope Chris Evert as well. I've given Chris Evert a really tough time about her commentating. Carla has given Chris Evert a really tough time about being snooty and like her shit don't stink, that type of thing. But Chris Evert has been battling from what I understand a cancer or something close to that.
Ovarian cancer, yeah.
So God bless her for that. I just did lose my sister recently to cancer, so I'll be respectful here. However, Martina Navratilova has kind of filled in the gaps of her commentating here on ESPN and the Tennis Channel, and she does a way better job. Way better job. She doesn't bounce back and forth between
saying. Well, that's because she was a better player than
yeah. She now how many French Opens did Chris Evert win? Like 500? Chris Evert won a lot of French Opens.
7, 8? 7?
Okay, Francis Tiafoe went down to Goffin. A lot of you may be new to the game or new to following it, don't realize how good of a player Goffin is, how many injuries he has been through, but the better player won today. Goffin is the better player. Tiafoe, what are some things, Carla, that Tiafoe must do? We've said it a million times. If Tiafoe ever wants to do really, really well, to be an exceptional tennis player, what must Tiafoe do?
His weird forehand kind of ruins his game.
Yep.
He's not fluid enough. He's very rigid.
Weird forehand, meaning he's about to set up for the shot, and instead of being here and compact, his racket's way up here, big loopy backswing. He works too hard. He works too hard. It's there's never a tennis player or anything in life where you would say you work too hard.
He works hard.
He works too hard.
He's got to. He's got big booty.
He's got a lot of
expenses this year in 2000.
Yeah.
875. And the fact.
Hey.
Read this comment. This year.
The year is 2875, and the 5K tennis prop has gotten bigger than the Euro Millions, as no one has picked the Slam winners in 900 years. That's funny. But look, Matt Cain did it. So here's the deal. The last person to do it was Matt Cain at Wimbledon. And it was one of the years where, Federer, Djokovic were guaranteed to make the final. And then Serena Williams was guaranteed.
There were 2 people that actually went to and they were winning. It was whoever won the final.
Yeah. There was 2 people. So 2 people picked it exactly, except one had like Federer winning and the other one had Djokovic winning or whatever. And it's just been building from there. And this is you guys can really talk about it in comments, and I'll be happy to change it. But that much money, it needs to be difficult. That's a lot of money. That's like a car payment and a cell phone bill. However,
that's a car payment these days.
That's more than our car payment by much. So,
no, that's not our car payment. Our car payment is not 500.
Yeah, less than that. But we have a simple car, and that's all we need. But I can make it a little less difficult, like 3 out of the 4 finalists and 1 winner. But then I can't keep dropping $600. I think, in all honesty, and we're very transparent, if you go to our analytics on our channel and go to the lifetime money that we've made off of how this works, I think ads and stuff. Our lifetime. So in 4 years, I think we've made a total of like $110, and then a few donations from you guys. But again, thank you for doing that. But I'm just being honest. YouTube takes like 33% of that. So if you go to someone's channel and then donate super chat, you're only giving them like half of it. So save your money. But again, please do it. Put $1 million. Thank you. But I'm just being honest that you're only giving away about half of that. Okay, so almost to the end. Badosa won today in a 3-setter. Do you really think Badosa, as well as Pegula, should be top 10 players? And Badosa's way up there. Isn't she like 3-4 in the world or 5 in the world? I'm not impressed with Badosa. She's beautiful. Badosa, I'm not impressed.
She's 11.
Not impressed. She's beautiful. I'll give her that. Carla's more beautiful to me than anyone in the world, and I mean that sincerely. But Badosa's a beautiful girl, but I'm still not impressed with Badosa. I like the girl Perry with the one-handed backhand, the 19-year-old French girl, better than I like Badosa. Mm-hmm. She brings something to the game. Badosa just brings her looks, no disrespect. We talked about Jessica Pegula. We talked about Fusovic. Now, we always have fun, and I'll make this quick. We've always had fun with people's last names, okay, that play the game. We have had many last names over the years that have been plasterized all over by pronouncing it this way, only for a year or two later to you be watching the Tennis Channel or ESPN, and you hear the same commentator that said it one way a couple years ago is now saying it completely different. Okay, I'll mention a few, and then in comments you can tell me if you have any that I have forgotten or we have forgotten. The most classic one is Muguruza. It was always Garbine Muguruza. Now remember, she's Spanish and learned Spanish as her first language. English is her second language. And she would say Muguruza, but all of a sudden it became Muguruza, with like a TH instead of a Z.
Well, she's from Venezuela. So in Venezuela, you would say Muguruza, but I guess in Spain, you would say it that way.
Well, I'm not saying it's right or wrong, but what I'm getting at is after 3 or 4 years of hearing it one way, now all of a sudden 1 year it magically changes. I'm not saying we're right or wrong. I'm just saying it's just odd, right? Okay, a second last name. We have Milos Raonic, right? Raonic. Now we hear Raonic. We hear Raonic. Raonic has been brutalized. Who knows? He's just the Pillsbury Doughboy. Okay. Anyway, that with the John McEnroe headband these days, or bandana rather, and I mean like the classic cloth bandanas you like, or a cowboy and wear. A next one is Muchova or now Muhova. It's not Muchova, it's Muhova. And now I've heard of Mukova. So we've heard Muhova, we've heard Muchova, and now we've heard Mukova. Okay, got another one. Sakari. We called her Sakari now. Sakari. Holy shit. We're getting lost here. Just call her the bun, the human bun that hits off her back foot. Okay, call her that one. It'd be easier. Another one, Rybakina. I've now heard Rabakina. Okay.
Raonic is retiring.
Good.
He should.
He ate too many donuts. Yeah. Oh, by the way, news drop. Michelin Tires has a white looking fluffy marshmallow looking guy. He is taking over their sponsorship. Raonic is now going to be the Michelin Tire puffy white blimpy thing. Okay. Good job for your new job offer, Raonic. You ever seen that movie Tommy Boy where they're getting high off the nitrous oxide in the car because it's leaking and they're like, rowads. And the police officer pulls them over and they're like, do you know how fast you were going? He's like, man, I don't know. I was speeding. And he was like sitting still in the middle of the road. Anyway, rowads.
Jose P said, Wawa often changes how his name is pronounced.
Barinka, yeah, good. Barinka.
Says for Life said Rune is apparently pronounced Rune.
Ooh, good knowledge shot right there. Hey, has anybody seen that Holger Rune match?
Rune.
Just call him Rune. Just get lost.
Yeah, I remember, Flo. You took a picture of it. Yeah.
I mean, these names change all the time.
My name is Davis. It's not Davis, guys.
Your name is Dabi.
It's Davis.
Dabi.
Carla Davis.
Dabi.
Okay.
A couple questions and I'm done and I'm out. And we'll go clean all the courts.
Yeah, we need to.
And do the weeds. We're going to have to weed and rake bad. Okay. Is Coco Gauff flying stealthily underneath the radar and becoming one of the favorites to win this tournament?
No.
I think so.
No.
I think so. We can talk about it after the show's over in comments, but think about this. If the women's game is more advantageous to receive serve than it is to serve, and you're one of the very few females, especially on this surface, that is holding serve at a higher percentage than everybody else and as well getting the same amount of breaks. Why would not Coco Gauff meet Swiatek in the final? Are they on the same side of the draw? I'm down a sheet. Somehow I lost a sheet. Yeah, you don't have one of my sheets in there?
No, I saw it over there.
Do I have that side of the draw?
I thought we were almost done. So.
Oh, we are almost done. But is Coco Gauff?
Here's the Gauff regular draw.
Is she in the same side as Swiatek?
No.
Okay, so they could meet in the final? Mm-hmm. Swiatek and Gauff could meet in the final? Mm-hmm. That could happen at this point. It could happen. I'm not saying it will.
I agree with you. Wayne Coco might never win a slam. I agree with you.
I'm not saying she will, but based upon
anybody could anybody. That whole section is open to anybody. Based upon
the statistics of who is holding serve, she's up there with the best of them at this tournament. Okay, Alison Risk, when she got beat by Swiatek, had the worst grunt I've heard this whole tournament except Sabalenka and Halep. Top three grunters so far this tournament are A, Alison Risk, B, Arina Brutus the Barber Beefcake Sabalenka, and D, Simona Halep, who, by the way, lost. Interesting third round matchups. There's not many. There's a bunch of matches, but I'm not going to say I would lose sleep over them. I do like Georgie playing Sabalenka if she pulled the match out. Did Sabalenka pull that match out? Because it might be Bringle.
Yes.
That's the reason why I'm interested in that match is because Camelia Georgie is a Barbie and Arina Sabalenka is a barbarian. So it's barbarian versus Barbie. Mm-hmm. Sonego against Casper Ruud. Everyone used to laugh at me for saying Casper Ruud would be top 10 in the world. Here he is, and now he stands a chance to make it very deep into this major. I was right about that. Don't forget, I was right about Raducanu as well. Who? Sebastian Korda and Carlos Alcaraz, I think, is the best match.
It is the best match.
Yeah. I do hope Korda wins that. I love Alcaraz too, but go USA on that one. Anisimova and Mukova, whatever. She's an OVA, and it's an OVA. Anisimova playing Muhova. It's two ovas playing one another. Watch out. Coco Gauff is playing a giant killer in Kaya Kanepi. Okay, I think Kaya Kanepi will probably win that match, but if Coco Gauff can hold, she has a really good shot. But I think Kanepi might squeak by that. I wouldn't touch it with a 10-foot pole. Sloane Stephens against Diana Perry, the one-handed French girl. Go Sloane Stephens. You know I love you. Sloane Stephens is one of my women crushes. She's one of the most beautiful people on the planet to me. But I think Diana Perry's one-handed backhand is even more beautiful. And don't forget, you're always number one.
No, I don't care. That's fine.
Okay, so you're a male tennis player you love to watch because of his looks is Fusovic.
Yeah.
Sloane Stephens is the one I like.
Yeah, no big deal.
Okay, that's it. I'm out of information. Guys, we're going to clean courts and getting ready for a busy weekend. Lessons all day tomorrow, Friday. Lessons all day Saturday. And Sunday morning, Carl and I are taking a ferry to Gulf Shores, and we are going to a Fish concert, Phish. I haven't been to one since 1990.
Which means we're not doing a show on Sunday.
So we won't do a show Sunday because we will definitely be at the Fish show. I'll try to do some type of video about the show as best as I can, but I'm definitely going to be enjoying that one. So tomorrow we'll do a show at some point, unless the matches are truly just that lackluster. We might marry them together and do it Saturday. But Sunday there won't be a show, and then Monday it'll probably be Monday night. So if there's like a day or two normally that we do it every day during majors and you don't see one, it's because Carla and I are going to go to a concert I've been trying to get her to go to for 15 years.
Like Fish.
She'll enjoy it, I promise you. The first time I went to a Fish concert, I was into hip hop. I used to freestyle rap a lot. Me and a buddy of mine named Mike Mixon, we would go to like clubs and we would do freestyle battles and we would get into the whole thing, and we did pretty well actually. I was the only light-skinned brother in the room, but nonetheless we had fun. Sup, Mike Mixon. But I first went to a Fish concert. Someone was like, "Man, go to a concert. You're talented with music." And I was like, "Fish? What is this? Just a bunch of freaking old whatever." I was like, "No." So someone ended up giving me a ticket, and I went with a group of people. And when I went to the show, I was like, "Where did this come from?" In New York City at Madison Square Garden, Fish played, and Jay-Z came out on stage and did 99 Problems. And what ain't one, and what was the other one he did? I forget, but you can see it on YouTube. If you go to Jay-Z with Fish, Madison Square Garden, MSG, even Jay-Z came out and he was like, "Where did this go? It just started raining."
But it's not raining over there.
So anyway, but she's going to go to that, and it's a really good time. And
Justin's hair reminds me of noodles.
Let's go, noodle. Anyway, Flo, you can send us some noodles because I know you know.
I like the Grateful Dead. No.
I do. Yeah, I do for sure. Who said that? Does Carl like this? She does not. The Dead, some of their stuff is really good, and a lot of their stuff is just kind of 60s and 70s, a little bit behind our generation. But some of the stuff, Sugar Magnolia, Scarlet Begonias, Ripple. What are some other classic ones?
He has a much older soul than I do.
Cumberland Blues.
I like more of the new stuff.
Yeah,
80s.
New Minglewood Blues. That's one of my favorite Dead songs. New Minglewood Blues. They've done some Bob Dylan covers like Desolation Row. They've done what is that? On My Way to Memphis with Mobile on My Mind or something. Anyway, but Fish is really good, and therefore they're not a redneck thing or they're not a country thing. They're in everything. They come out and do anything from soul to have other people out on stage with them. They're a show band and not someone that's going to drop a number one hit. They're there to entertain you, and they're like us as coaches. As coaches, our lesson money and tournament money we don't keep and buy a new car with. We put it back into the tournament, kegs of beer or nice trophies instead of little ones and more stuff. So Fish is the same way. They put everything back into their show, as we try to put everything back into tournaments. All right. Okay. Anyway, adios, muchachos. Let's go. See you soon. And if it's a couple of days, don't shoot us.
Hi, Chuku, right on time. Bye, Chuku.